When elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. Today on Commander Replay, can Karametra, God of Elephants, trample their way to victory in this double feature match? Find out next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, I want to take a quick second to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. I have one correction shout out, and that is for Richard Blocker, which I think I got wrong last time. So welcome Richard, you are awesome. If you guys want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. Welcome back everyone, playing some Karametra, God of Harvest, Elephant Tribal. Take a look at our opening hand. We've got 3 lands, a couple elephants, and a lot of card draw. Scarab God, the Scorpion God, and an Odric. I think we'll keep this hand. We've got lands, we've got card draw. The only thing we don't have is ramp. I would be super happy if we can catch another land and like a rampant growth or a cultivate. That would be super sweet. Phyrexian Reclamation coming down for the Scorpion God. It's going to bring it to our turn 1. We draw Elephant Ambush. Not the cultivate that I was hoping on, but we'll play a land and pass. Blood Artist for the Scorpion God. So as I mentioned, we're playing Karametra, God of Harvest, 3 green-white for a 6/7 indestructible. Is not a creature if your devotion to green and white is less than 7. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may search your library for a forest or a plains card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Our job is to get Karametra down and just start slamming elephants, and then we'll make lots of mana. Once we make lots of mana, we can play some of these big spells to draw into more elephants. Sweet. There's the rampant growth that we were looking on. Adorned Pouncer coming down for the Odric opponent, so definitely in there to give everything double strike. Play the plains, play the rampant growth, get another plains. Phyrexian Arena coming down for the Scarab God. Taking a look at what our opponents are playing, by the way. First up, we have a Scarab God. They get to scry and make us lose life equal to the number of zombies they control in their upkeep, and they can pay 4 to exile a creature and create a token copy of it, except it's a 4/4. And it has that pesky when it dies ability, return it to its owner's hand, so pretty nasty little commander, and they laid down a Phyrexian Arena this past turn. Interesting that the Scorpion God is also in this game. The Scorpion God just mentioned that they are a fan of the channel, so that's fun. But the Scorpion God, a commander that I just haven't seen much of at all. Like, it's not terrible, maybe a little bit slow, maybe a little bit mana hungry, but it's still got some really interesting abilities. Like, if you get a black market down and kill a couple creatures, you'll be making so much mana that you won't even care what that activated ability costs. Maybe I need to do another Scorpion God deck. I think I do. I know so much more about deck building. I think the Scorpion God was probably almost a year ago when I played that one. It was a while back, maybe even more now. We're putting that on the to-do list, playing the Scorpion God. Anyway, so the Scorpion God, for those that aren't familiar, 3 black-red for a 6/5. Whenever a creature with a -1/-1 counter on it dies, draw a card. Pretty cool. Anytime your commander says draw a card, usually a pretty good thing to have. Then, you may pay 1 black-red to put a -1/-1 counter on another target creature, so you can actually trigger its own ability, and then when the Scorpion God dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. So a lot of interesting things on there, just does not get played that much. People not super into minus counters in the way that they are for plus counters. People love their +1/+1 counters. Anyway, so a Benevolent Marshal coming down for the Odric, and that's going to bring it back to our turn. We draw into a Nylea. I do hope to catch a land next turn, just so that we can play our Karametra. So we'll drop Nylea right here, and we'll ship it off to the Scarab God's turn. They'll get to draw from the Phyrexian Arena. Scorpion God also says it's the first time out with their deck, so they might make a few mistakes. Sure. Ooh, and a Grave Pact. Grave Pact is so bad for our deck. Like, just terrible for our deck. We have an Aura Shards and I think a Return to Dust, and that's about it. Grave Pact also bad for the mono-white player. Hopefully the mono-white player packing removal. And with that being the case, I'd also like to keep my legendary gods out of creature form, because Grave Pact will kill them if we run out of things to sacrifice. So I think we're about to see the power of Odric right here. Yep, opponent's going to cast their commander, and even just playing a 2-drop, a 3-drop, and playing Odric, we're going to see some damage get pounded out here. I assume that Grave Pact should attract a lot of their attention right here. So Odric passes around the double strike ability. Opponent thinks about it for a second, and then makes the correct decision, goes into the Scarab God. This is going to be a big old hit for 10 from the Scarab God on turn 4. That is a lot of damage, plus the fact that they've got a Phyrexian Arena out. They'll be slowly losing life that way, and I will happily assist them in additional life loss throughout this game. Sweet! So we catch that forest off the top that we were hoping on. So now we're going to play Karametra, and next turn hopefully get down to the Elephant Party. Of note, Karametra's ability is a cast ability, so we won't get anything from this Elephant Ambush. We will, however, get some benefit off of this Luxodon Convert. I've been seeing Odric show up a lot in the past couple weeks. It is a very good card, and I think it's underplayed for what it does. I mean, opponent literally just went 2-drop, 3-drop Odric. Oh, you lose 10. If they follow it up with like a Baneslayer Angel on their next turn, which could very easily happen, something of that sort, people are going to be losing a lot of life, and it's going to be hope someone has a board wipe mode, because our deck, pretty light on removal. We have 2 board wipes, Aura Shards, and the Return to Dust that I talked about, which is not a lot. And maybe a Wrath of God? There might be a Wrath of God in there. Did I say Wrath of God? I don't remember. But yeah, we are light on removal. Scorpion God, hopefully playing removal. That is the kind of deck that wants to slow the game down. Hopefully if we play this vanilla elephant next turn, opponents will realize that we're not upped all that much. That's particularly interesting. Opponent can cast their Scorpion God. Sure. Lots of gods in this game. 3 of them, actually. Karametra, Scarab God, and the Scorpion God. Oh, we didn't talk about... Oh, yep, there it is. Oh, we're about to see some damage. So we're going to have to figure out who's got a board wipe next turn, because Odric getting out of control. Hopefully that Grave Pack's still scaring them. Yep, that Grave Pack's still scaring them. So Scarab God about to take a big hit right here. Scarab God goes down to 10. Turn 5. Wow. Wow, that is good. Odric is so good. And they go up to 58, by the way. That's also going to be the other problem. Going to take a lot of damage to deal with all that. We draw into a Trumpeting Armadon. We'll play our vanilla guy right here. I fully suspect that nothing's going to make it back to our next turn, so basically just want to get the land off of playing this guy and just having a blocker up. Plus, by showing the fact that we have a vanilla elephant, people may leave us alone for a little while. We'll get our Temple Garden tapped. Opponent exchanging nasty words. Someone asked me if I'm playing Elephant Tribal. Yes, I am. That'd be the only reason you slam a vanilla elephant. So I actually would like to see the Scarab God with some counterplay right here. If they can get some of their creatures to die, then that should slow down the Odric considerably. We may need more removal in the Elephant Tribal deck. That is a thing that may need to happen. If no one has any, this game's going to be over really quickly. Opponent lays down a Newscraft Mob. Not going to do much in the way of preventing a bunch of flying attackers. Scarab God upset about being attacked heavily. If you lay down a Grave Pact with no defenses, you probably need to get attacked a little. I mean, you play powerful cards, people are going to target you. You play elephants, maybe not so much. Something to think about. The more powerful cards you play, the more opponents are going to pay attention to you. And I get that like Grave Pact is just a good black card that you would run in most black decks, but, it is really problematic against creature decks. And was hoping to see the Scarab God at least kill a few things from the Odric opponent, slow them down a bit. Odric's going to trigger. At least they didn't play a creature first to get more abilities on there. Probably already in the board wipe or bust mode, so don't know that they're looking to overcommit necessarily. But they've got a whole lot of damage on board. This is going to be a fast game if no one has anything. Alright, so Scarab God about to take a lethal amount from our opponent. And we're going to take the rest. This is going to hurt a bit. Scarab God down. Opponent salty about getting focused down. I mean, it was the correct play. If you're playing the aggro deck and someone lays down a Grave Pact, you need to take them out or kill their Grave Pact. That is just how it goes. That's an Angelic Overseer. That's a good one. And a Serra Ascendant. Board wipe off the top? Not a board wipe. We drew into an elephant. We could try Rishkar's Expertise and hope to catch something. If not, then we can use the Garrick Primal Hunter and try to catch more of something. But that's really about our only option. Plains Swords to Plowshares would be helpful. Nope, none of those. What do we catch a Luxodon Smiter? Let's cast the Garrick, actually. Man, so if we plus with the Garrick, that would actually eat up probably some damage from our opponents, but that animates Karametra. Well, we can draw 6 more cards. That unanimates Karametra. Nope, I guess it'll only be 4 cards because, yep. So we draw many things, none of which are removal, but not surprising since we're not running a lot of removal. Something I'll need to fix. What we will want to do, surprisingly few lands in there, play this Misty Rainforest, crack this Misty Rainforest, get a Savannah, play this Miri's Guile, and we'll pass the turn. How many lands do we need? Get rid of this fetch, get rid of the Scatter Groves. Don't think we need the Mastodon. Get rid of the Mastodon. And this thing has flashback, so we can flash it back later if we need to and still get some value. that way. Come on, Scorpion God, don't do us wrong. Play a board wipe, please. They play a Puncture Bolt. That kills the Double Striker. That's a very good start. They'll get to draw a card. Another chance at some removal. They can recast the Double Striker, but at the very least, at least it takes some mana to do it. Blood Artist trigger. Contagion Clasp. Gonna put that on the commander. Ooh, and a Dreadbore. Nice. So opponent shoots down their commander, which means they won't be able to get They won't be able to get all the abilities. They can recast Odric, but they won't also be able to get the Double Strike next turn. That's something. Still a lot of flying and lifelink, though. Yep, recast an Odric. Sure. Yep, opponent misplayed for sure. They put the minus counter on Odric when Odric doesn't die because it goes to his command zone. It's an easy one to mess up. I forget about that quite often myself. Opponent send in everything into us. That's just rude. Into the elephant deck? Sure, if you need to. I don't know if we survive. We survive at 6. That's something. Here's a Miri's Guile. Come on, board wipe. Opponent goes up to 100. There's a Path to Exile. That's something. How can we get the most card draw? Do we need Kodamas? No, we can just play creatures. Draw the Path to Exile. Play this Forest. Play the Burnished Heart. Get a land. Get a... let's get the Canopy Vista. Then we'll play this guy. Use Karametra's ability. Get a Plains. Scorpion God, hope they got something. Let opponent know that I can shoot one creature. Ooh, that's a Dictate of Erebos. That's good. They can potentially kill their Blood Artist. That would get a sack trigger and draw them a card. Opponent's going to terminate their commander. Nice. That'll get rid of Odric. Problem is there's still just a ton of flying. And the Angelic Overseer as indestructible and hexproof, which means we're probably going to die. Fleshbag Marauder would have been really sweet right there. Opponent send in 3 attacks. They're going to have lethal on us. We can still shoot this Aerial Responder, though. Aerial Responder gives so many abilities all on one card. So that goes down. But we will sadly die. So looks like I'm going to need to rebuild this deck to be running the proper amount of removal. Because sometimes you just get run over by an aggro deck. Opponent going to recast the Adorned Pouncer. It's a 5/5, thanks to the Benelish Marshal. Ha! Look at this part of the log. Continuous effects should be split into multiple layers. Weird. Happened after the Odric trigger? That is odd. Never seen that one before. Opponent lays down a Kolrath Knight. That's a good one. It's got Wither. More importantly, it can block the flying creatures. And if anything dies with minus counters on it, they'll get to draw some cards. Opponent's going to Enlighten Tutor. What'd they go for? True Conviction? Something like that? The Immortal Sun. Interesting. Will make their creatures bigger. Scarab God's still got a chance here. They've got tools available to them, especially with this Dictate. So opponent's going to put a minus counter on the Double Striker. Sure. So opponent's going to block with their Scorpion God. Yep. They'll still take 15 in the air, and that's a bit. That will kill them eventually. But that does trigger the Dictate of Erebos and the Blood Artist. So opponent sacrifices their Benelish Marshal. Sure. Blood Artist trigger. And the Scorpion God will get returned to its owner's hand. It's now the Scorpion God's turn. Still got plenty of counterplay left. I mean, they can throw the Kolrath Knight in front of something else, and that'll do more sacking. Scorpion God coming back to play. Yeah, that is its strength. Still a lot of flying, though. They've got the Kolrath Knight, which can reduce the size of something. So it's going to bring it back to the Odric's turn. Got an Immortal Sun trigger. They get to draw an extra card. So the other thing they could do here, too, is they could block with the Kolrath Knight and then use the Phyrexian Reclamation to get it back if they need to. Here comes Odric. That gives everything flying, which is kind of an issue. Opponent's got something. Gonna put a minus counter on the Sarah Ascendant. Sure. Oh, it can't attack or block because of the counter. Wow, Kolrath Knight, so good. Forgot about that part of it. Creatures your opponent's control with counters on them can't attack or block. So they just need to put counters on everything, and they're in pretty good shape. Looks like they're gonna block with the Kolrath Knight. Yep, totally understand that. And then probably get it back with the Phyrexian Reclamation. Yeah. Getting some pretty good ideas for what I want my deck to do. Yeah, I think I need to play the Scorpion God again. It's just such an interesting commander that no one plays. Like, I think it needs more time in the spotlight, quite honestly. So opponent sacrifices the Adorned Pouncer since it was no longer an attacker or blocker. That does get rid of the Double Strike. No more Double Strike for our opponent. Kolrath Knight's back off of the Phyrexian Reclamation. Ooh, Grand Abolisher coming down. That's a pretty good one. They'll want to kill that as soon as they can. Oh, there's more Double Strike in the Sky Hunter Skirmisher. Opponent's going to nick those for 8. Wow. It's a lot of white mana symbols. For some Boots. Boots will be helpful. Can protect itself from the Scorpion God's ability. And a Haunted Cloak, also helpful. On the Angelic Overseer. And then a Precinct Captain. Sweet card. Turn 2 Precinct Captain in an Aurelia deck. I did 21 damage one time. Because I spreadsheet my damage when I play Aurelia. Opponents sending everything. Yep, that might be trouble for them. See if they want to handle this, because everything's going to have flying. Also going to get to make tokens with the Precinct Captains, so it's going to... Dictate of Erebos isn't going to be nearly as helpful as it was. So Precinct will trigger, Dictate will trigger, Blood Artist will trigger. And I think the... yeah, that's only the first hit. Yeah, so Scorpion God's going to go down right here. Odric, so strong. Couldn't find that board wipe, a single board wipe, and then things get much, much slower for them. And if someone plays a board wipe, the Scorpion God then has tempo on their side. They can start using that ability like crazy, and things get real out of hand. So Odric Lunarch Marshal getting there at 150 life when the game completed. I need to make a few updates to my Elephant Tribal deck, which I will be doing now and replaying. So stay tuned for those. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some more Karametra Elephant Tribal. Yeah, it will keep. Mana crit... ooh, there's no green. We need to find green for this hand to work. Well, as long as we do find green, we're going to get ridiculous. Even if we miss a turn, like if we only miss one turn, we'll be okay. Mana Crypt, Cultivate, Nissa's Pilgrimage will speed us up a lot. So we're hoping for land off the top. I just played this Jodah opponent a moment ago, and they were playing Super Friends. It was rather annoying. We do not catch that land off the top, but we will play the plains. Pass turn. Forest off the top, that's all we need. Temple for the Sydri opponent. We draw Austere Command. Play the Mana Crypt. Pass turn. So today we're facing off against Mathas Fiend Seeker, Jodah Archmage Eternal, and Sydri, Galvanic Genius. Someone mentioned the last time we faced Sydri that the best builds of Sydri are a combo deck, generally involving Aetherflux Reservoir, so we'll need to watch out for that. Jodah is running the Teferi Chain Veil combo in their deck, so we'll need to be careful of that as well. None of that's going to matter too much, though, if we don't draw a forest very soon. Imperial Seal for the Sydri opponent, so Mathas is going to copy the Imperial Seal with the Reverberate. Nice. Opponent says they need a tutor for a land. Well, that'll be good news for us. I would love to tutor for a land. So that brings it back to our turn. Mana Crypt flip on us. Really looking for that forest. Go heads. Won the flip. Draw plains. We can cast a 4-drop. Let's go ahead and do that. Thaumatic Compass for the Mathas opponent. I would love a Thaumatic Compass at the moment. Ancient Tomb for the Jodah. Soul Ring for the Sydri opponent. Yep. Brings it back to our turn. Mana Crypt flip. Let's go tails. Lost the flip. Not a forest. I mean, it's frustrating, but if we can catch a land, like, soon, we'll be able to re-catch up on all the lands that we've missed. Though I'd prefer to be getting ahead. We're going to swing into the Jodah right here with our Elephant and pass the turn. This is the third time I'm playing this deck in a row, and the frustration is starting to mount a little bit because it hasn't been going particularly well. Been a number of things going wrong, some of which are my own doing, some of which aren't. In the first game, an Odric opponent ran everyone over, and we didn't have any board wipes, and the black-red opponent did not have any board wipes, which is a head-scratcher. Last game was the Super Friends bit. Oh, there's a doubling season. Ugh. And the reason that it's frustrating is just because no one plays removal on Magic Online, and it's just so annoying that, like, a little bit of removal stops all the nonsense, and it tends to become such a different game on Magic Online than, like, when you're playing at the shop. At the shop, people play removal, and games will actually go longer, and you get to do more interesting things later in the game, as opposed to whoever lands the first threat wins. And I've been noticing a lot of that on Magic Online. If you land the biggest threat first, you win, because no one's playing removal. So, message to everyone, play removal. There's a Sharum the Hegemon. Awesome. No artifacts in their graveyard. Weird that they're just kind of running it out there. Assumingly part of some combo, though. Mana Crypt flip on us. Tails. Lost the flip. Elephant Graveyard. Swinging to Jodah. Jodah goes down to 33. Oath of Nissa for the Jodah. Maybe he doesn't have the Planeswalker yet? Though they might find one. There's an Ajani. It'll be able to ultimate. Fantastic. Oh, nice! Opponent's gonna play Hide on the doubling season. Sweet. Great play, opponent. Great play. Now they've got an exposed Ajani. Hide and Seek. Sadly, you can't play that in just Boros because of the black and the split card, but that was a really nice play from our opponent. And they scoop. Ha! Opponent plays a Precursor Golem. Okay. To get a bunch of Golem triggers. Back to our turn. Mana Crypt flip. Go heads. Won the flip. Not a forest. Ugh. Sun Droplet coming down for the Mathas opponent. Sydri coming into play. We won the flip. Oh, finally. The land that we've been looking for. So play the Cultivate, and pass turn. Soul Sculptor for our opponent. Let's bring it back to our turn. There's an Enlightened Tutor. Let's play this Forest. Play the Mirari's Wake. Got 6 total mana. I think that means we play Karametra right here. Then we'll Enlightened Tutor. I'm going to go for Zendikar Resurgent so that we can keep drawing into more elephants. There's a Slumbering Dragon. Mathas coming into play. Anyone just see that Ghost Sire of Stagnation trigger? Puts a gold counter on the Precursor Golem. Bounty counter, excuse me. Let's bring it back to our turn. Mana Crypt flip. Won the flip. Draw into the Zendikar Resurgent. Play the Zendikar Resurgent. Play the Nissa's Pilgrimage. Get some forests. Play a forest. Play the Luxodon Hierarch. Karametra will trigger. Zendikar Resurgent will trigger. Use Karametra's ability. Get a Temple Garden tapped. Gain 4 life. Play the Trained Armadon. Get another Karametra trigger. Draw a Scattered Groves. Use the Karametra trigger. Get a forest. And play this. Cycle the Scattering Groves. Draw into a Croson Verge. Play the Greenbelt Rampager. Use Karametra's ability. Get a forest. Greenbelt Rampager comes back to the hand. Send in Karametra. And no real reason to send the other ones yet. Opponent says they love the fact that we're playing elephants. Yep. Mathas going to put a bounty counter on the Luxodon Wayfarer. There's a Sphinx of the Steelwind. Flying, First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelink, Pro-Red, Pro-Green. A lot of good abilities on there. It's going to bring it back to our turn. Go Tails. Won the flip. Play the Greenbelt Rampager. Get a... Wow, Greenbelt Rampager really good with Zendikar Resurgent and Karametra. Draw a Swords to Plowshares. Use Karametra's ability. Get a land. It bounces. Play it again. There's a Burnished Heart. Get a forest. And Greenbelt resolves. Gotta shoot this Soul Sculptor real quick. Don't want it to interfere with my plans of Garruk Primal Hunter. See what they decide to target. Gonna target the Karametra. Boo. I think that means we play the Burnished Heart and it should be okay again. Oh, nice. Yeah, so it'll trigger. Karametra triggers. Zendikar Resurgent triggers. Get a forest. There's a Triumph of the Hordes. That's something. That'll be the way to finish this game. Let's play the Garruk Primal Hunter. Draw some cards. We will draw 7. Nice. We might be able to finish it up right here. There's a Tooth and Nail. Does this thing give trample? Yep, that gives trample. Play the Collective Blessing. Play a forest. I think we play the Triumph of the Hordes. Play the Score Tribe Elder. 2 more triggers. Get a forest. Draw a card. Go to combat. Slumbering Dragon will trigger. Nice. So, Sydri scoops. Spires on the Luxodon. They may survive now. So, opponent survives. Get this Heirloom Blade down. Get the Worn Power Stone down. And equip the Heirloom Blade. And past turn like that, we could keep going a little bit more, but opponent's already in must-have a board wipe territory, so... Oh, hey, that's an Austere Command on Artifacts and Enchantments. Ooh, Artifacts and Enchantments. Surprisingly not our creatures. I guess use this, sacrifice the Burnished Heart? So we lose the Artifacts and Enchantments, but opponent's still got to get rid of the creatures. They plan to have success. That does make them smaller, buys them more time. That's for sure. I've got a nasty little trick we can do on our next turn, which I'm excited about. One of the things I built into the deck on purpose, and because I don't play a lot of green-white, I don't really get to do this very much. So we're going to play Tooth and Nail. We're going to entwine it. We're going to get a Maria Shepherd, and we could go for Terastodon, but honestly, I think I just want Trample and Nylea. So put Nylea and a Maria Shepherd onto the battlefield. Play a Plains. A Maria Shepherd will trigger. Get back the Burnished Heart. Send that to the battlefield. Crack the Burnished Heart. Get 2 Plains. A Maria Shepherd will trigger twice. Get back the Zendikar Resurgent and the Collective Blessing. Send those both to the battlefield. And we will go to combat like that. And then I think we can just pump up anything for the win. Should be able to get lethal here. Slumbering Dragon's going to trigger a whole bunch of times. Slumbering Dragon's an 11/11. Opponent goes no blocks. Put Karametra on the Tribe Elder. Or Nylea on the Tribe Elder, excuse me. We'll use this one. And we'll regenerate our elephant. Oh, opponent survives at 2. Oh, that's so frustrating. Protector of the Crown. Believe that buys them a turn. We may need to wipe the board. Opponent gonna swing in with the Slumbering Dragon. Sure. Yep, we'll take. Opponent's gonna get the Monarch, and they'll get a Monarch trigger. What we need to do right here is play this austere command on creatures, and then regenerate all of our creatures. That will tap them, unfortunately. The gods may not tap. I'm not sure how that's going to work with Indestructible and regeneration. Opponent goes back up to 6 off of the bounty triggers. Opponent's going to Anguished Unmaking on our Ameria Shepherd. Do we have a way to sacrifice that? Doesn't look like we do. So that's going to go down. Yeah, the gods are still untapped because they did not actually die because they're indestructible. Perfect. So then I think we just go to combat, and this should do it. Opponent said they clicked the wrong one, was aiming for Nidlea. Yeah, that's not ideal. More than anything, I'm just excited to get this game over with. After keeping a risky opening hand and getting punished for it, and things have not been going well for Elephant Tribal over the past few hours, the frustration was starting to mount a little bit. And we finally get there. Weird game, everyone scooped early. We kept a bad hand, just all kinds of wackiness. Don't know if I could call that a real game of Commander, but at least we got to see some elephants. Up the amount of removal in the Elephant Tribal deck. I think the way this deck wants to play right now is you kind of just want to get Karametra down as soon as you can, and you want to play a board wipe before you really start casting your elephants, because, yeah, you really want like an open board before the elephants can have some room to breathe. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.